Welcome to Dyson Sphere. My name is Ninos and this is episode 21 of our amazing Let's Play series. I am having so much fun with this and it seems like you are as well. So thank you very much for following along. This has been super amazing so far. And the best thing is that we have so many more things to take care of in the space and well, in this galaxy. There's just so much left. We're just hanging out up here. Ugh, I can just feel the drag of the sun. As soon as I stop moving, it'll pull me in. So here we are, our sphere. The one thing we built last time here, we built all of our what are they called? Just jump there because that's more fun. Warping straight into the planet. Whoa, there we go. So we built up here on this planet. We built all of our power generation or photon generation, and we'd actually like to get started on photon generation, on using it. But there are unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, you could say fortunately, a number of steps we have to take before we can dive into that, and that's what we're going to do today. So these ones, we talked about it, the critical photon. We'll just go through what it actually requires, and I think it's best done in the tech tree because we're all the way back here. So what we can do now is we can take the photon here and you can split it, but splitting it doesn't really give us anything at all because we need to make it into the only thing it can be used for. These antimatter particles can only be used for two things. They can be used for the universe matrix here. You can see each one requires one, or it can be used for in here for together with the controlled annihilation reaction and controlled annihilation sphere. Annihilation constraint sphere, whatever, son, that thing, the blue eye. It can make antimatter fuel, which is super nice if we want that, which can be burned in an artificial star. But the thing is, on the way here, we have to build this, and you can see that pink box, the particle container. That's going to be our problem. So if we don't have this one, there is really no point in starting to split the photons if we don't have these. And this is where there's arguably the best of the rare resources comes in. This is the unipolar magnet, but that's an extremely rare, and extremely rare in this this sense means that it only spawns on planets around stars that are either neutron stars or black holes. So we did in one of our episodes, we did for it all the way out here, 47 light years away to our very, very distant black hole. But there is also another one right there. That is a neutron star. NTR. What is it called? NTR something something, yeah. And this has unipolar magnets, right? Fractal silicon, fire ice. That's what it has. That's the one we're going to go to and get some unipolar magnets so we can use this rare recipe here. And it just takes 10 of the unipolar magnets. So yes, you need to mine it fast, but on the other hand, just combine it with some copper compared to this one, which requires turbines and graphene. I mean, in and of itself, not the most difficult, but there are so many steps like involved in the electromagnetic turbine that it's just easy to run out of anything along the way. And just building bigger for this one, it takes forever. So if we can just put some unipolar magnets in and some copper plating, boom, we got it. We're going to build a lot of these because, as you can see, they're used for our continued expansion. They're used for our continued expansion, used for our annihilation sphere, used for our continued expansion. And if I'm not, I think they're also used for, are they not used for accumulators as well? No, that's the supermagnetic ring. Yeah, so that's not it. That one, that's a different one, but that supermagnetic ring also requires electromagnetic turbines. So what we're gonna do, we will have a problem though, because as we talked about last time, we are actually overstraining our ray receivers, or our Dyson Sphere as it is now. By overstraining it, this means that on the second planet in this system, the Anchor 2, where we have a lot of these ones charging and actually setting up for the entire galaxy, we will not be able to charge anymore because there's just no excess power left. I'm just looking for something I know I've done wrong. Look at that one. Demand, it should be supply. That one. Oops. We have just sent them in here, which means that this one will actually grind to a halt at some point. But now we're getting rid of it. So we're going to go change these back to power generation. And let's see. That one, power generation. Power generation. Luckily we can... What? Power generation? Copy, paste, paste. Unfortunately, there's no visual indicator of this, so we're gonna have to do all of them manually. Yeah, that's just something I'm gonna have to do myself then, right? So I'll just do that and then we can take off. So now that they are all changed to to power generation, you can see that the drain on the Dyson Sphere is much lower. We're still using the graviton lenses to get in power, which is not really needed. So we're burning through a lot of these for no reason, but we have a kind of high supply of this. This is also, like, remember, this is consumed 1 every 4 seconds, or 4 minutes. So if we have 10 here, that means it consumes, no, 1 every... So that's 1 every 15 seconds, right? And I have 20, 40 around here, so it's gonna consume like, I don't know, 3, 4 per second. I don't know, it's not much. Right, so what we have now is we have to find a planet or our new sphere, and that's super difficult. And I know a lot of people are having issues with figuring out where are things when they go out in this night sky if you want to find something. So instead of just going like, and here it is, then I'm actually going to show you how I do it, because 2 things. Maybe I'll give you some hints about how to do this. On the other hand, maybe you can give me some hints if you have some better strategy for finding it. So we go up here, point in a random direction. And as soon as you press the V button, then you get the same overlay. So actually, it's right there. So in this overlay, you can zoom out, and then you find it. As soon as you find it, you can go back in. Go up there, okay, and then you press the V again. Tap to free the mouse, and it's right there. Wow, okay, that actually made it maybe seem a bit simpler than it actually is. Alright, we're gonna jump to this location and have a look at this beautiful exotic new planet. Let's go. Alright, back to Chrysler with you. Alright, wakey wakey, we are now within 1 light year of our destination, so it's time for us to focus. And there is 1 planet around it, it seems. That's good, because that means we know that everything this star has to offer is around this entire planet. Alright, come on, hit it. There it is. Boom. Alright, we got it. Look at our batteries. They are kind of exhausted, and we go straight into an orbit here. Good. Let's have a look at this planet and flip it so that we go north. And go out. So that means this part up here might be north. This looks like we're heading north. Yep. Here we go. This is the planet. I am going to go up to the North Pole as always and plant my stick in the ground there. That's actually correct. So here we are. This is our new home away from home, and look at this beautiful star we have here. It looks so good, and look at the rotation of this this planet. It is crazy fast. So as you may have noticed, I did not bring anything particular with me. We still have some of the things, like we have some interstellar logistics station. We always have that. We have a few here. We have some few warpers if you need it. And what we're gonna do is just start colonizing this area. Oh, that was a bit much. I got carried away. I guess I do that a lot when I put foundations down. There. Oops. I got carried away again. And I guess we'll just go out here then. So again, we will now build our planetary hub, or our polar hub, which I think is kind of becoming a thing that we do, and I'm so happy that I've spent the time on this, and I would also absolutely recommend it. Just the whole concept of bringing stuff along and trying to remember what you need, or managing your inventory for how much is necessary for these things. It's crazy, right? And let's see, that's gonna be right there. I'll put these 8 down so we can see where they are, and then I can fill them up with all the stuff we want. Too close, too close, too close, too close, too close. Good enough. And 1 more out. On this line. There. Well, look at that. I did need to put in more concrete than what I already did here. And that one. Yep. So, nope. That was only 7. And I'll take the last one. Was it here? Yes. Good. So we have those 8, and what we need to do now is just hook it up, get some power, get all the things we need requested, and once we have that, we are ready to go out and expand. What we need to do is actually go out and find all of the materials. This key is like a rather desolate location. Okay, let's have a look at this part because it looks so cool. Look at that. Look how weird it is. Unipolar magnets. Huh. Yeah, those are the ones we want. There's 800 and something thousand here. Let's look at it from a map view, and you can see if we have 9,400,000. There's also a lot of fire ice that might come in handy later on. Fractal silicon, it's also good. Not use silicon as crystal silicon for much, but you know, it's pretty good. The only thing is it doesn't have enough copper. So if I want to really exploit this planet for unipolar magnets, then I really want to make, can I press it on here? Yeah, I can. I want to make this on site, because instead of transporting 10 unipolar magnets off the planet, then I'd rather transport 2 copper ingots in and 1 out. So that's 3 items, while this is 10 items. So definitely bring the copper in. We could mine it here, but really, do we bother? When there's so little here, there's only 1 patch, I think, if it's this small. Oh, there is the patch. Yeah, so everything is gathered in 1 patch, and that patch is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 mines. We simply can't get enough of this one out of it. I mean, of course, we could tap it, because why not? But I just don't think it's worth it. So let's just bring it in anyway, because we have to do that. And then we're gonna mine these. So you know what? Instead of me coming back and let's actually just also mine up the remaining part of these, so we can all of this on the location. That's gonna be just a crazy amount of dragging power poles and all that stuff. So it's more fun when we are back to actually building stuff. So let me get back to you with the building stuff. Let's take a look at the planet as it is right now. It is terraformed to at least a certain degree. We have up here our polar hub, we have our exchangers for the heat, we have the belt with the graviton lenses, we have our charging point in the middle where I am currently parked. Then we have all along the meridians here, we have the wireless power tower, and then I just made these kind of patterns here. This pattern here is pretty good, because that's like exactly can hit and can reach a long power pole here, so you can kind of easily see where the meridians are. Meridians are the ones that go all the way, and what I've then done is just find those, and I hooked up every single one of these unipolar, and I hooked them up to a tower that is in the middle of one of the bands between the fault lines. So for example, this one is on the same sort of, no, it's one lower, but they have they make sense, because I expect this planet to be something we're going to come back to and use for more things. There's lots more mining to be done. Silicon, we could export from here. Titanium, though I don't think we need a lot of titanium. Somehow titanium doesn't seem so good. Fractal silicon, to fire ice. There's lots of things we need on this planet. So definitely want to get a good pattern here for setting it up. That's what I've done, because I want to make sure that we can come back here. And that means we now have all 9.4 million, 9.3. A lot of it has been mined into the towers already. Unipolar magnets are ready for us to start working on. Alright, so what do? We have we should have a little build out here, build space out here, and let's see. I don't know how big it's gonna be. Oh no, look at that, it's a disaster. Oh no, it's just disaster the other way. Maybe. Oh, we don't even know if that's the right amount. So we're gonna start by having a tower here. This is where we build the particle containers. They will be built on site. In order for us to do that, we are going to request some of the unipolar magnets. We are going to request some copper plates. We know the copper plates are being made at Anchor 2 in very large scales at 180 per second. So we should easily be enough to scale this up here. And I will also then be making that one. And I will, in the last spot, also request some warpers. I'm not going to set anything up here, but I'll put some things into this. And the idea is now, let's figure out how to do a good build of this, because the fact that it uses 10, that one, the fact that it uses 10 per 4 second is kind of worrisome. So what I need to figure out is how many can I build on one line in order for us to use every single resource that's available, like one belt. So how many would I need to put on one line? So let's say if I put 4 on one line, it's going to consume 10 per second. Yes. So actually, because this is 1.5, then it's actually going to consume 15. So if I just put 4 of these in a row, That's gonna already consume 15, so I can only put 8 in a row. That means this was way too big, and I probably need to build, well, I do need to build 2 of these. Alright, so that means we're gonna have to find some kind of pattern here. My thought is that I will do this one outbound. That's probably already too much. And I'll do another one outbound there. These two are gonna be side by side. Let's get it all the way down there. And then I'll have, let's put it at this location and this location. So that's, then I'll have the copper outbound. And then I'll have the particle things back. And this one out here also needs its own filter, so let's get that one as well. And on the other side, this one, I'll make it mirrored instead of anything else. So we're going to do here. Nope, we also have the returning finished product. That one. And the last one I need, so we can also see that we're actually using quite a lot of the inputs and outputs on this, because again, I refuse to do any belting. I mean, or sorry, I don't refuse to do any belting. I refuse to do any like going above and below and stuff like that. Actually, I think I can make this nicer. I mean, I know it's like the most subtle of things here. But wouldn't it be better if it looked like this? Right, it'll look way more symmetric. Yeah, that's better. And since we don't need more outputs and inputs, that should be good. So let me just briefly talk about this mod that I've been using. It's called Copy Inserters. If you want it, I would, there's a link on a few of the videos. It's called Copy Inserters. It's the one that everyone uses. And the cool thing is now, because more people are using it, then there's also group people, the mod makers are sort of grouping together and helping each other out. So now there's a new version, it's the version 1.2. Do check that out. And the version 1.2 is rock steady. I tested it and it's super good. It does everything that you want to do and it's super reliable. So I'll actually show you how reliable it is if I actually did this correctly. This is, oh man, you can't even see it. I hope it's correct, otherwise I'll just cry. So this is, it's extremely useful how good it is now, and I'll show you how good it actually is. We're gonna go to gameplay, and I will not even make this a time lapse for you, because that's how good it is. We need to have 8 of these, so we go 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then copy this one there. 2, no, my mistakes, can't really guard against those. And take the next. And if, as long as you have enough, I'm completely, normally I would go like really careful, but I'm not going careful at all with this. Just spamming it down, and it even has a preview now. And that's it. No time lapse or anything. Look, that's how fast you can actually build things now. But the last part, like, we'll put up some power poles and stuff like that. We still need to do that, and then of course I need to place things down correctly. And what I mean by that is, obviously, if I come on, autosave. Yeah, autosave is starting to take a bit longer time. That's not a problem. It's to be expected as our base grows, and every time we tap a new planet, I also imagine it goes up as well. And you are going to be, oops, not there, but right there. Yep. And let's just hook it up and see if we can get it. This one will be just requesting locally. I should have done this before, because now it's local demand but no supply. That should give us something here, because I do want these ones. This is not local supply, it's just simply demand. Actually, this is kind of going against what I want. I don't want to request things demand in here. I really should be taking something on the tower, this tower. This should be the demand tower, and go, this is local supply, but it's also global demand, because then I can set this one here, that should come in, and then I can from this one go local demand and no supply, and then we can probably get like 2,000, will be more manageable. Do I want to provide this up to this amount? Oh yes, absolutely. And we got everything else we want. This one, oops, local demand, and there. So local demands are going to be fine, and we're now sending this one out 10,000 just coming in like that, because yeah, as you can see, every tower has 50, so they'll just start sending in here absolutely crazy amounts. So that's not going to be a problem feeding this. What is going to be a problem is the fact that we actually need more of this. So what I'm going to do here is actually build another one. We're not going to be sitting through all of that one. Target out of range. Oh yeah, that's the problem. If we're in God mode, I'll just leave it in God mode. I really like being in God mode for this, for just general play. And I have no idea. Is it that one? Yeah, it looks right. And get the, yeah, that'll be here. And I'll make these two grow together. Yeah, so I can build another one that goes the other way, and then they'll be fine. But we don't want to see if we're getting things in. That one, no. Over here, are you coming in? Yeah, copper's coming in. Not as much copper as I'd like. Oh, look at that. It's also someone has forgotten to put things in here. There you go. Silly me. And I know someone will go like, oh, why do you have this here when you're not providing? Well, actually, I'm providing, so that's why. Yeah, so I can build the other one. Not much there, but we want to see this one actually working. Yeah, let's wait. And now we have the vessels coming in. That gives us the first. They're going off again immediately. And we got the copper coming in between the two towers. Great. And let's see if it actually works, if I have set it up correctly. Do they start huffing and puffing? And I haven't done anything with the inserters, so, or sorters. They will just, this is just pure copy paste. So look how easy it was to copy paste. So I would recommend everyone, get that mod. Version 1.2, copy inserters. I just don't think that, we're waiting for the devs to just add this feature into the game, because damn, that has to be there. That absolutely has to be there. Cool, I'll build the other one, and then we are ready to leave this planet. So we are here. We have now built the other one. It should be pretty simple to see that coming up and running. I hope that it's built correctly. Let's see this one. Yep, they are all getting in here, and look how awesome it is. You can see that they're already being exported now. So that's pretty good. That's actually super nice. What I could actually have done, now that I think of it, I could also just let these all the way over and just merge them together, but this is fine. So we are seeing that the whole thing is working. The whole thing is working. We have nothing else to do on this planet anymore, so we can go on with our next project. So just for context, this was the particle container, well, actually technically this particle container, and as you can see, it's used for the annihilation sphere that we'll use somewhat later. But first, we have a thing that I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about our Lord and Savior, solar sails. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? So that what we have done last time, we built a lot of solar sails, and I think a lot of people were just noticeably impressed by the number of solar sails. Except that the stupid thing is that if you build 60 solar sails per second but shoot 13 per second, it's kind of going to build up a bit of a supply. So we're actually having the issue that we are building way too many solar sails and we can't shoot them in fast enough. And even if we could shoot them in fast enough, we won't be able to actually, how should we say this? Yeah, we won't be able to, what am I saying? Even if you shoot them in fast enough, because we don't have enough nodes in the network, we won't be able to absorb them into the swarm. So we would just shoot them into a swarm instead of into the sphere, and then it would be wasted. So what we need to do is make some more nodes on our Dyson Sphere so that it can absorb points faster, and then we're going to build a place where we're going to be absolutely just shooting the hell out of that. So let's take a look at that and see how that can be set up. So we're now back here on Anchor 1, where we have set up this part, and what we really want to do now is actually we want to build more nodes. So let me just explain what the situation is. We have our Anchor 2 shooting out a steady stream, but it's not really a lot. If we look at our statistics here on the Dyson Sphere, we're producing more sails and they're being absorbed. It doesn't actually look like all of the sails that are being shot into the sphere can actually be absorbed fast enough here. But this is around, what is it, 10 per second? That's not very much, right? I mean, we're talking about like a 10, 11 to 12 per second, and we're producing 60. That's just not good enough, isn't it? Is it? Not good enough. And no structure points, because we have a lot of rockets waiting, but nothing to do. So what we want to do is enter our Dyson Sphere. And it is now time to build a new shell on the Dyson Sphere. And this is going to be something that I just do because it's kind of silly, but I think it's fun. So the point is, we want to disable the swarm, disable the layers. We're going to build a new layer. How big are we going to make it? We are going to make it, that's a shell, yes. I'll do it that one, I'll do it that one. And I'll make it 45. It's going to be big. Because if I make it smaller, it gets into conflict with the sphere, with the, what's it called? The inner planet, Anchor 1. Right, so if we build it big, I think we can see that we have to get all the way up, and then I need something that I can remember. So 45,000, I guess, is the right size for this. And then we're going to build something, and let's build it. Build a sphere, and we're going to clickety-click it, and then we're going to go build something. We got on the grid, yes please. So what are we going to build? Well, we're going to leave some space here in the middle so we can see this one. They're going to rotate at the same location, but we're going to build some things. Let me build this for you, and then you can see what's going on. We're going to stop the game actually, so it doesn't launch. There we go. What more? What would you expect from a YouTuber to do this? So now I don't think I have to say it anymore to remind you. I can just look up into the sky, and hopefully that will remind you if you have not already subscribed. Yep, it's corny. It's I don't know, quaint, whatever it is. It is what I do, and I asked if it was stupid or funny, and it was majority was funny and not stupid. So we're gonna put that one in here. What we will see is if we zoom out, we will be seeing here at Anchor 2, we will start seeing rockets launching. Yeah, a flurry of rockets there, just like light swarms of rockets coming in. See, there we go. That's another swarm of rockets. That looks so good. Wish we could go into this one, but we can't from this view. But there'll be another blast here. There we go. There they are. So that's what we're gonna do. So what we need to do now is we now have a lot more to write on the surface, and a lot more node points being created that we can feed. So what we want to do is we want to make a design for how to build this. So I'm actually leaning towards making like the South Pole just shooty, but I know that it's gonna give some problems. So I will build the South Pole, but I'll also just try to expand it. Also try building it. Basically, you know what? We're gonna build it on the South Pole, and then it'll probably be working half the time. And then I'm also gonna build it around the equator, maybe. I don't know. I'll see. It depends on how long it takes. But around the equator, half of them will always shoot. But on the pole, sometimes they should all be shooting, and sometimes we'll build it at the pole. You know, if no matter what, I can only get it to shoot at half the time. Although the thing is, like, these can shoot all the time. But I think that it's because we're so close. Then when the Dyson swarm is far away, then it can't shoot. Or sort of at some angles it can't shoot. So what we're going to do is we are going to start terraforming We are going to do that by going to the South Pole and terraforming there. Let's give that a shot. Now the initial terraforming is starting to be completed here. We are simply paving over the mines here because we want all the space available. Hold on, yeah, that is the limit. And they can see that. If we need it, we can dig it up afterwards, but I really don't think I'm gonna need it on this planet. This planet is for other things. Those other things being shooty and getting photons from the Dyson Sphere. Look at that. There we go. We have now a nice bald spot on this planet. And that will be what we do. So the intention is that in the middle here, I am going to get stuff inbound. The only thing we're going to do here, the only thing we want inbound is solar sails. We have some handcrafted here. That's it. That's all we need. There. And then it'll go out in radial directions out here. Out here into the sides. If it goes into 2 locations, it can go out with 60 per second. So if we put out more, actually I don't want to do that all the way out yet. Okay, like that. So if we put 4 out, then we know that at least feeding outbound is not going to be a problem, because that can get all the way up to 120 per second. So that's not going to be a problem. There. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get over here and get some of these there. Alright, so we need to figure out where they will be placed, and that's so I don't want to place it on these meridians because that's where the belts will go out, and I think I'll leave those as they are. The thing is, like, see, that's a problem. I want to place them always with like two tiles, like these squares. Those are good locations, and these are not good locations. That one and that one. Remember, if you place it on a line with a fault line, it'll go by the grid of the one closest to the equator. That's very important for this build. So you have to look at not the inner lines here, but the lines out there. That one and that one. I think that's going to be the first place build it, and then we can, if we just bump it 1 in, then it's going to follow the grid. But if I put it out here, then it's going to follow a different grid. But 1 in, then it's going to be following a grid, and that's as close as they can be placed. So that's going to be what you want here. Alright. That does not look correct, does it? Oh, it was correct. Never mind. It's again like looking at the wrong lines. And what about here? See, that's going to be a problem, right? Because that's going to intersect with another grid that's going to be different. I'll definitely have one out here. And then I can build... Should this one just be... This level is just its own thing. Sure. You're its own thing. You're your own thing. There, and then it really wants to fit here. Yeah, that's an odd number. And the next one is going to be following here. That one, that one. We're just basically making one pattern here, and then for one of the quadrants, and then if we like it and we can make it work, then we'll copy it to the other ones. Well, copy it, huh? That's not exactly how things work. That is again on a fault line, so we just have to take it 1 level back so it's actually good. What we're looking at now is going to be... Oops, let's see how many that actually is. And the question is then whether we want to also go 1 further out just to get a bit more oomph to it. How many is that? It's 5, 10, and this row is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's also 10. That's 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 37 for this. And that's going to be 74, 140, 138. What? That's not correct. 148. 148 all around. And 148 divided by 3. Well, actually, let's do... This one's going to shoot 12 per second. So 4 times 12, that's going to be 48 per second. Okay. That's not enough. Actually, that's not enough. What if we can we build more? Can we build it like this and like this? Yeah. That should get us all the way up to 60 per second. Because I want 60 per second. And technically I want more than 60 per second. Because it won't be shooting all the time. And I also have a crazy stockpile that I need to get rid of. So if we can just get this one and... if we can get this one out here, it would be lovely. I think we'll have like 200,000-300,000 stockpiled on our Fire Ice planet. So that should be good. And oh, for some reason that doesn't fit, does it? No, it's gonna be okay here, but then it's not gonna be okay on the other side. All right, I am going to build this. This is it. Well, okay, we need one more thing before we can conclude that we can do this. We actually need to make sure that we can do branches here, and that one, and that one. There. And then we go to the other side. I think it's easier if I build it on this side and just try to aim it here. That one. Yep. There. And then I'll see if I can connect them through belts all the way over there. We also should have another orbit for this one. So they shoot into a separate orbit, and that's really important. There, the second orbit. Oh yeah, we did already have the second orbit. So let's actually just link them up into the second orbit. We can do that. We can actually also do that with what is it called? Okay, we need power poles as well. Yeah, we can actually copy it. So for example, if we do this turn ready and take an insert or sorter and bring it in, then I can actually just, if I cop this out, then I should be able to just place it like this. And then it will put the sorter in as well, and it will keep. So I'm gonna have to take all these out once I've done it, and just, otherwise I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah, even though there are some tools to make things simpler and faster, there's still a lot of, when you build big, it's gonna be big. Not a big surprise, is it? Yeah, and this row from all the way from that one, can it reach all the way? No, it's outside of building area. There, and you'll go then into that one. Alright, I like this. And just plops on some power poles. They're gonna be sort of spaced at wherever they can. And I'm probably being a bit excessive on the power poles, but I can't really cope with them not being, if they're only every other. Alright, I think this gives us a good idea about what the pattern is gonna look like. And then I just need to make it bigger. So let's build it. I think I'm gonna build it from the inside and out. So let's let's get started on that. And we are now ready. Let's start by just requesting an absolute ton of these. Here we go. Oh, okay, I also need to build in these. Damn, I should have done that before. I'm just gonna put some of these in so we get more. There we go. And no remote, and that one. All right, so we're getting 10,000 in here. That should be exactly what we need. And we'll also get the more warpers in here. And now it's just time for us to wait for them. They are so ready for shooting. Oh, if only we had some... If only we had some more... some solar panels here. I'm not gonna put these in because I want them to just fire all at once, and we don't want to be looking out when it comes in. That's for sure. So let's just look at on our guiding part here. We have to go. Let's see if we can remember where it was supposed to be. It's not Kappa Sagittarius we're making it actually, although we could actually be sending from there. But was it? It was Iota Kappa, right? Iota Corvi. That's the one we built it at. Right? Yeah, Fire Ice and Optical Crystal. Yes, that's the one. So we got some things inbound, outbound, coming there. It's very far away, but we'll just wait until they come in. Let's see when they're coming in. Then we'll be ready. It actually comes in here. This comes the first one. That's probably just a short-term delivery, but they are now starting to shoot. There we have it. There we have it. They're starting to shoot. They're of course coming in from the sides first. Yep, more stuff is happening. It's not the angle, right? The angle might be declining though, but they should be getting some. They're just oh, please don't let me miss the angle. Here we go. Now more is coming in. It's just spreading out. So it goes out here and then it goes around this way. So we should see these will be the last ones to start firing, if they ever will. They should be, because we have, what is it? It's 204 guns pointing at the sun, and that should be, it's definitely less than this, but can we even keep up with here? Yeah, we're keeping up all right. And there's more and more that keep shooting. This is looking very, very nice. All right, stuff is definitely happening. And it does take a while because they have to sort of go out here and go all the way. And let's look at the poor sun that's getting just absolutely destroyed by this laser barrage. All right, that is certainly something is happening here. All right, this is cool. This is cool. So what we want to do now is just let this form, and basically I think that these orbits, this point in orbit they're shooting at, will sort of move around. It's not always going to be the same place, unfortunately, with some kind of rotation and stuff, which means that sometimes it'll go below the surface and then they can't shoot. But right now that is a crazy barrage. At some point you could say it's good that they don't have sound, but on the other hand it would be nice if they had sound. Are these actually, no, they're just not getting any, are they? No, the belts are empty. Huh. Yeah, 10,000 more inbound. I'm gonna feed this. Feed it, get more. And more are coming in. Yeah, more are coming in. At every single bit. But I know it will saturate, at some point. If nothing else, it'll saturate when it goes out of range. But look at that. I want to get all 200 to shoot at the same time. That might be a bit ambitious because you can see down here, it just barely can get beyond this point. Might there be an issue? No, they've you see, look at how little comes in on this belt, and I think it's because I need to saturate all the belts, and I just can't saturate them. But it's good. It's good that I can't saturate them, I guess. Is it? I don't know. It's a bit of a shame that I can't saturate it, but what it will happen is that as soon as it goes sort of out of loop, then it'll saturate all the belts. So when it comes back online, it'll start shooting. With 200, I'm shooting 66 per second. So I'm actually shooting more than 60 per second. So I will be, if it could shoot all the time, it would be burning through our stockpile. That is pretty cool, right? That is pretty cool. So what we've done today, just to summarize, we've been going to the neutron star. We found some unipolar magnets. We built some really, really cool builds for the particle containers that's going to be ready for our antimatter. And then we came back here home for this one, this absolute barrage of lasers on yeah, let's look at some stats for this. If we look at the Dyson Sphere, yeah, now we're adding a lot of solar powers, solar panels, solar sails into production. We still can't get them back in fast enough, but I think they will. The reason why I think they will is because we are now getting, you can see out here, also just the fact that it's taken some time. Our new subscribe is starting to take some effect. Look at that one. It's looking good. I think that's pretty decent. And yeah, over time, we'll just have a look back at this one. You can see how many are, look at these trails out here. They're being put into orbit and then they're going to spread out. And as we get more of these points done, then we can get more places where they can accept 120 at a time. So there we go. That's the situation. We of course need to get more rockets. That might be something we want to take a look at in the next episode, maybe more rockets. But yeah, you know, honestly, that's not gonna happen because we want to do the antimatter that we started on. So with that, thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. This weird episode with some exploration, some rare materials, some neat builds, and of course some absolute barrage here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay effective.